All right, we have got Dominique with Queendom Care Doula Services. I love getting to see Dominique because she's one of our team members. You're a contributor for Austin Moms, and you're a doula, and you're a mom, and you do all the amazing things. So, thank you for being with us this morning or
Thank
this
you.
afternoon.
It's afternoon now.
Yes, it is. It's been a long day, but so far we've been receiving lots of emails that everyone is so happy and excited to be a part of Bloom and still getting all of these resources. So I don't want to steal any time away from you, but I also just want to remind everyone, I'm sure no one's ignoring their hunger pains, but if you are hungry, Dominique's going to have some great information, but do not starve yourself or your baby. So with that being said, I'll let you take over.
Okay. Hi, guys. Let me start my timer. I don't want to go on a tangent. I love everything regards to birth. But first, yes, please, if you are hungry, please go and eat. Your baby needs it. Your body needs it. And so please go do that. But first, I do want to introduce myself. My name is Dominique Adeni. And yes, I am one of the bloggers from the amazing Austin Moms. Super happy to be here. I know a lot of the presentations have been amazing, and just super happy that you guys are able to receive this information. It can help you within your pregnancy, or it can help you postpartum. And there's a lot of self-care little goodies I see in your goodie bag, so make sure you guys do use those. But I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about myself and what I do, because they do go hand in hand. I am a mommy of 3. I am a multiple miscarriage survivor. I had my children back to back to back. And I experienced all the highs and lows that came with expecting, going through labor, going through some disappointments of labor, or what I thought I was able to do that didn't happen, going through, the postpartum phase, and just all the highs and lows that come with being an expecting mom. And thinking I can do it all, and relying on my husband, who, wasn't trained in the field of prenatal and all the emotions that come with it. So there were some disappointments, there were some letdowns. And so with all of that, I decided to become a birthing coach. I figured that everything that I had been through, I could prevent other moms from doing it by offering myself. And so with my last pregnancy, I decided to become a birthing coach. And so that is what I am, AKA a doula. So this presentation is pretty much going to give you a little bit of information about what I do, and why it could be important for you, because doula is not for everyone, but if it is for you, why it's beneficial for you. And so that's what this presentation is going to be about. But first, this is what I do with all of my clients, whether it be a childbirthing course, or a postpartum visit, or a prenatal visit. It's just a moment for us to take some deep breaths. I know that you guys have probably been sitting for a while. If you're already a mom, I know you have your baby or your babies, or if you're pregnant, just a moment for you to really be in this moment. And so deep breathing is something that I talk about a lot during prenatal visits and postpartum visits, as well as with labor. And so I just wanted to offer you guys just a couple minutes, if you're not eating, or if you're eating, to just take a couple moments for a deep breath. I'm going to coach you through it. And it's literally going to be us inhaling through our nose, holding for 4 seconds, and then releasing out through our mouths. The first thing I want you to do, though, if you are sitting down, is to be aware of what your toes are doing. I know it sounds funny, but your feet are what make you feel grounded. And so what I want you to do is make sure all 10 of your toes are on the ground. If they're in carpet, kind of focus on what that carpet is feeling like. I want you to relax your shoulders, relax your eyebrows, and we're going to kind of just take a moment to recenter and just allow our bodies a moment of rest just for a second. And so what you're going to do is you're going to inhale through your nose, hold for 4, and then release through your mouth. And we're going to begin. Hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you breathe out, try to keep your shoulders relaxed as well as your forehead. We're going to just blow out all of the tension that we've been holding throughout the week. And we're going to do it again. We're going to inhale through our nose and hold for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. and released. We're going to do it once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and release. And that is just a moment of relaxation. I like to do that when I'm working crazy with the kids, or like I said before, any of my meetings with my clients. Just allows us some time to relax. So not only are you going to gain some information, but you had a just quick relaxation session. So we're going to dive into the presentation. But what I first want to do is open up a polls. I would love to see if you guys haven't. Oh, you guys have already been answering the questions. Okay, so with these questions, these are going to be some things I'm going to be covering. And just to make sure that you guys know what we do as doulas and what we don't do. So the first question here in the poll is, can doulas deliver babies? If you haven't answered, go ahead and answer. Second question, can a doula offer support after childbirth? I see these answers. Doulas do not lower the cesarean rates. True or false? And also, if you're expecting, have you written out your birth plan? It's a really good question. And I hope after this presentation, if you haven't done it, you will go and do it. It is extremely important. Okay. So we're going to dive into the presentation. Let me move my little face here. Okay. Okay, so who am I? I am Dominica Denis. I am a birthing coach. I am the owner of Queendom Care Doula Services. Queendom Care is literally a place for expecting moms, or even if you haven't begun to try to conceive, and mothers who've already given birth. This is your place for self-care. This is where you're going to receive my care as your companion. I am a certified birth and postpartum doula, as well as a breastfeeding counselor and a childbirthing educator. So what is a doula? It's a funny word. A lot of people think they know what it is, but I'm going to tell you today. A doula is a trained person who provides companionship during the process of pregnancy, childbirth, and beyond. Doulas support new families through the life-changing experience of having a baby. Emphasis on new families. Sometimes people get the impression that a doula is strictly for the mother, when in fact, our job is to support your whole family. So if you have other children, doulas are very helpful in allowing the older siblings to get involved, to understand all the funky questions of what's going on with mommy's body. And then even with your spouse or your partner, your boyfriend, whoever your other support person is, they have a lot of questions too if they've never experienced birth. And so we are here to educate and to support you guys through this life-changing event. So I definitely wanted to point that out. It's not just for mom, but it's for the whole family. What do doulas do? So there are different types of doulas. Your antepartum and birth doula are going to be one and the same. Antepartum meaning there is a huge emphasis on support throughout your prenatal phase. So that means your doula is going to meet with you virtually, of course, because of social distancing. She's going to meet with you. She's going to get to know your lifestyle. She's going to get to know your diet, your family dynamics. What type of support do you have? What type of birth, are you having? Is it a vaginal, medicated, or unmedicated? Are you going to try unmedicated? Or, do you have postpartum support? We're going to plan out your birth and your postpartum. We're going to talk about your fears, your doubts, some things that you're concerned about. That is what your antepartum doula is going to do, so that when birth comes, right, we know all of the things. We don't want to be in labor asking you, well, where's such and such? Or, are you afraid of this? Or, do you like to be touched like this? Do you want a massage like this? Or, it's going to be the time where you and your doula bond. I love that phase, honestly. It's a lot of laughs that goes on with me and moms during antepartum phase. We're literally just friends getting to know each other so that she feels fully supported during her birth. That is the time to meet, your partner, if you have one or if you don't. Sometimes moms take doulas along to their OB appointments just so that they can meet the OB and just be that companion. And so that's what that antepartum phase is, or doula is. And then you have your birth doula, who of course is going to be with you throughout the whole process from the beginning to the end. And then the birth doula is going to kind of check up on you. You're going to have a follow-up appointment anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. It just depends on your schedule and the doula schedule. And then you have a postpartum doula. Postpartum doula to me is like a serious lifesaver. If you've already had a child, you know that there are going to be some sleepless nights. There are going to be times where you are exhausted. You may have another child that you have to tend to. You have to eat. You got to feed these kids. You got to clean up. And so a postpartum doula is extremely helpful in allowing you to kind of ease into that mommyhood transition. We're going to help, with the older siblings, like I said. We're going to help with newborn care if you have any questions. How do I bathe a baby? How do I wash their hair? How do I, change a diaper? What about this little stump on their umbilical cord? All those things your postpartum doula is going to really give you a ton of information on. And so I absolutely love being a postpartum doula. You can not need a doula for antepartum care or birth care and literally strictly hire a postpartum doula just for the postpartum phase. She's going to be your go-to person for breastfeeding support. She's going to be really that emotional support that you have when you think you can't do it. And that does happen sometimes. The body is just going through so many things in regards to recovery. And so sometimes you just need that extra, boost. And so that is your postpartum doula. There's no phase of like when it begins and when it doesn't. I have not supported a couple but then supported them through their postpartum. So I started, just for an example, one of my clients, I started at 3 weeks and I've been a postpartum doula up until like 6 months. So that means I'm covering date nights. I'm covering the nights. You can have a night postpartum doula where you're covering times when mom and dad just want some sleep. And so I'm keeping baby quiet. I'm tending to baby so that the parents can sleep. And so I think the postpartum phase is extremely important. So postpartum doulas are so helpful. If you don't have one, definitely consider one. But in regards to doula care, it's 3 components that are super important. It's the physical support, which is going to be anything that your doula can do for you physically. So during labor, she's going to be, she's going to find out, where do you hold your tension? Oh, I may hold my tension in my shoulders, or I crunch my, my eyes, and so my forehead. And so your doula is going to say, okay, is it okay if I massage your shoulders? Is it okay if I give you a temple massage? She's going to be the one using her hands, light touch, massage, acupressure, hip squeezes. She's also going to be the one to say, hey, what about some water therapy? Do you want me to go run you a bath? Do you want me to run you, run a shower? That's what she's going to do. It's going to be physical support. Some of the things also that can happen is, warm and cold compress. Mom is looking a little, sweaty and flushed. So I'm going to go run and get a cold washcloth to put on her forehead or the back of her neck. I'm going to get a warm compress to relieve some of the, pressure pain that she's feeling in her lower back. Those are all things that we do that fall into the physical support. Anything that we do, the purpose is to provide comfort. Whether you're laboring, at home for a little bit before going to the hospital, or if you go straight to the hospital, we're going to try to bring some aromatherapy in there. We're going to, have you make a playlist of songs and music that kind of, keeps you feeling confident. We're just going to provide this comforting atmosphere. That's our job. And in turn, the goal is control, comfort, and confidence. You want to feel like you have control over this pain. You want to feel comforted and supported. And then you're going to feel confident that you can do it when those other 2 goals are made. Emotional support. Emotional support starts from the jump. The moment I am hired as a doula, that emotional support of texting, hey, mom, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Affirmations. I send bi-weekly affirmations. If you're going through the motion, sometimes you have to be reminded of how truly amazing you are, girl. Okay. So, hey, girl, you're doing so amazing. Your body is amazing. You're holding this baby so well. You're taking so well care of yourself. Those are things that you're going to get from your doula. You want to feel empowered every day, every week that you're going through your pregnancy so that you have a sense of pride. Empowerment or emotional support is also going to definitely be present during your labor because you're, most likely going to need it. And so, she's going to be observant and paying attention to how you're feeling. How is your emotional, how are you currently holding things emotionally? So, during labor, you're going to get coached. You're going to be told positive things. You're going to be empowered and encouraged. And then also, even after birth, moms go through the feels, and, typically after the baby is placed on the mama's chest, I love to decompress. Hey, mom, how did you feel about that? Oh my goodness, like you did so well. How are you feeling about it? Because the end goal is a positive birth experience. So that simple conversation of debriefing allows mom to have some serious emotional support. She feels supported. And even if she's not happy about something, she's talking about it, talking it through, and it just gives her a sense of empowerment. And that is the goal, for you to feel empowered, no matter if your plan A turned into a plan B. Informational support. So this is very important. This is important because this is going to set us apart from your friend, your husband, your boyfriend, your mom. This is what makes a doula different from your family and your friends, is the fact that we are trained individuals. We write papers, we read books, we watch videos, we shadow. And so we're fully getting informed on the topic of baby, mom, postpartum, hormones, nursing, all of those things. This is what we do. So when you're asking for any advice or anything, it's not going to be from a personal perspective. It's going to be evidence-based. We know stats, we know options. We're always staying current with what's going on in the birth world. And so that's going to be your doula. That's what makes us trained. So we're going to keep you informed. Whatever topic, that you may have discussed with your OB, say you can't get a hold of your OB, or you just need a little bit more information, your doula is going to be that person. We're going to continuously having you feel informed so that you know your birthing options, because all of these are going to still play all together. You feeling informed is going to make you feel confident, right? So, even during birth, say you're not sure about something, your doula is going to be right by your side, making sure that you feel informed and you feel like you know what's going on, because the worst thing that can happen is a mom not really knowing what's going on. So now that we've talked about all of what doulas do, there are some don'ts. There aren't a lot, but there are some. But as I said, some of the things we do, we also support the birth that you want. Some moms feel like just because they are having a C-section birth, or just because they're having an induction, that they don't get to have a doula, or whatever the case may be. That's not true. Whether you have an induction or a vaginal epidural, you are still allowed to have a doula. You can have a doula that's not even present at your birth and have a strictly virtual doula. It's just about having that companion. And so we support the birth that you want. We don't put any of our personal preferences or personal opinions onto your experience, because the end goal is for you to have your experience. So we support the birth that you want. We are always by your side. We never leave. It starts from the beginning. That's what makes it a continuous support, is that we're there from the beginning all the way to the end, the postpartum phase. It doesn't matter if you go in for an induction and it turns C-section. Your doula doesn't say, okay, bye. You don't need me anymore. No, we're there till the end. You're still having your experience, and we want to be there. At the same time of everything that we we respect the medical staff and their choices. We are not medical professionals. And so, we respect the doctors. We are literally there to be by your side and to support you. So, we don't step on any doctor's toes or anything like that. That is not our job. Some of the things that we don't do. So here's one of the questions. Do we perform, any medical procedures? No, we do not. We do not perform any medical task, and we also do not give any medical advice. Just an example, I have a mom where I'm doing like a weekly or bi-weekly check-in, and I'm like, hey mom, how are you doing? And she says something like, oh, I'm fine. I just keep having this headache, that I've had like really bad for the last week or so. I'm not going to say, go ahead and take some Tylenol, that might help. No way. I'm going to refer her to her OB, because I know that from a clinical standpoint, a headache in pregnancy, especially like a continuous headache, is not good, right? Or it can turn into something serious. So I'm going to advise you to go to your OB. I'm not going to go and tell you to take anything or try anything, because that is not my job. I am a companion for you. I also do not make decisions for you. Advocacy goes hand in hand with being a doula, but that also means that advocacy can come in different ways. The way that we advocate is that we're keeping you informed and keeping you educated so that you can advocate for yourself. You know, I want you to feel empowered enough and comfortable enough and educated enough on, you know, things that you want and things that you don't want. And so that you can make those decisions for you. Legally, that is not our job. That is not what we do. And so I definitely wanted to definitely express that. Next slide. Okay, benefits of hiring a doula. One, there are many benefits to hiring a doula. Most importantly, it's just having that person to keep you mindful of your day-to-day as an expecting mom. All my moms that hire me, I become a part of their mom tribe. It does not end. It's continuous and it's a lifetime, because being a mom is a lifetime. So I think when you hire your doula, for one, she gets to know you on such a personal level that you guys become friends. And so you have this friend who you've been through a lot of intimate, you know, moments. You're delivering your baby. She's around your family. And so, you know, she's that person that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So that benefit in itself to me is just so important, to have a bigger, you know, mom tribe and have your moms that you can go to for stuff. That's just a plus. But when it comes to stats, of course, you know, like I said, doulas are evidence-based. And so when it comes to stats, I just have to kind of give those out. The risk for cesarean from having a doula decreases by 28%. Now that is huge. That is like a big percentage that we love to brag about. Epidural use decreases by 9%. One thing that we are trained on is comfort measures. There's so many comfort measures that, you know, sometimes you don't think about when you're in the motion. And so we suggest those. That comes a part of our physical and emotional support during labor. There's tons and tons of birthing positions and things that you can do to kind of help relieve the pain. A contraction, for the most part, is only a minute. So you just have to get through that minute. So that's pretty cool. Decreased by 9%. Pitocin induction dropped by 31%. That is huge. So Pitocin is pretty much oxytocin, which is the happy hormone. And oxytocin happens when we feel comforted and we feel supported. You know, smelling your if you like cologne, obviously, but smelling your significant other, smelling him close to you, you know, knowing that your close friend is near you, you feel supported and comforted. Oxytocin is just really just going on and just going through your veins. And so oxytocin also keeps labor progressing. So studies have shown, you know, you have your doula, you love your doula. The simple presence of having your doula there for you from the beginning all the way to the end have literally dropped the use for Pitocin. That is huge. So likelihood of spontaneous vaginal birth increased by 12%. Like, these stats here are so awesome. And I really just wanted to share those. I think they're super important. And so, yes, I wanted to share that. Let me get out of this here. Okay, so that's the end of the slide presentation. I wanted to go through the questions to make sure you guys got the correct answers. So, can a doula offer support after childbirth? Most definitely. That is a postpartum doula. So whoever said yes, ding, 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 you got that right. Doulas do not lower cesarean rates. That is false. We do lower cesarean rates. I think that moms feeling, you know, comforted and supported does a lot to her emotionally. And in turn, I think it just keeps labor progressing. And so I think that is one of the factors as to why it lowers the cesarean rate. Have you written out your birth plan? No. For not yet. There's quite a few people that haven't done it yet. I'm not sure how far along you are for those who haven't done it yet, but it's never too late to do it. I actually wanted to give you guys in the handout section my it's a quick birth plan. So you can print it out. And what happens is birth planning really lowers the anxiety of labor and birth. For some reason, having a piece of paper that has your options, things that you want, things that you don't want, present on a piece of paper, it really lowers that feeling of uncertainty, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna fill it out. Let me see here if I can preview it really quickly. Yes, I can. You're gonna fill this out and it has all these comfort measures on here. What you would like during labor, after labor, pain management. Like I said, there are so many comfort measures here that you can do while you're at home. And some are you can do like with essential oils or acupressure with your doula. Those are things that can happen in the hospital as well or at home. What you would like during the pushing phase, there are options. After birth in regards to feeding baby, to breastfeed or to not. And so even, writing down who's going to be your birthing team, things like that. All of those things can go on this form. And what you're going to do is fill it out and then you take it to your provider, your OB. Any questions that you have there, write little notes. Usually the OB puts it in the chart or mom brings it when she's at the hospital. And it's just a paper there. Sometimes nurses literally say, hey, do you have a birth plan? And so they can look it over. These are the things that she wants. Is a trigger word for her epidural or needle or whatever the case may be. All your fears and stuff will go on your birthing plan. Things that you'd want done, things that you'd want your partner to do, whatever that case may be, you put that on your birth plan. So I wanted to offer you guys that because I think it's super helpful. It's something I do with my clients on our last prenatal appointment to prepare for birth. And so I wanted to offer that to you guys. With that being said, my goal here was just to give you a little bit of information about the support that you can get while you're expecting. It's super important. And so that's what I wanted to do. So I'm going to open up the Q&A section if I have any questions. Oh, yes, I do.
You have a lot of questions.
Okay. How does the current COVID situation affect? Oh, did it move? Oh, do they move? Oh, there it goes. Scroll up. Oh, they're moving so much. Okay. Oh, yes. How does the current COVID situation affect having a doula? Are you allowed to bring them even though you can't bring a visitor to any appointments? So every hospital has a different policy. And so you're going to have to, that's going to be a question that you're going to maybe want to write on your birthing plan to ask your provider because things are changing so much. Last week, a certain hospital was allowing doula support. This week, they weren't. So those are questions you're going to want to ask. For the most part, I do know that most of the hospitals in Austin are allowing your partner and a birthing companion, but you might want to double check that. If you cannot, though, don't fret. You can have virtual support. Most of what we're doing now, most of doulas in Austin, we're offering up a lot of virtual support, virtual childbirthing classes, virtual postpartum appointments. You can still get the experience and have us virtually. Even if we can't attend, your labor, put us on the phone, call us, text us, put us on FaceTime. It may be a little weird, but we're doing the best that we can so that you do feel supported. So definitely check that out. That is extremely important question. Let's see. I want my husband to feel part of the process. Can a doula teach or coach husband to be the emotional and physical support? Definitely. I found myself being more of a doula to my clients' husbands than the moms themselves. Dads sometimes feel so uncertain and they feel like they don't get any control. And so, yes, that was one of the points I wanted to make was that not only do we support you, we support your partner. Great question. I see a lot of COVID restriction questions. COVID has literally changed birth work for all of us. And so double check your hospital, double check what the hospital you are delivering at is allowing. Because like I said, just last week, there were a couple restrictions that were lifted where we can attend births. So that's going to be a question you have for where you're delivering. Can you have a doula for only postpartum? Yes, you can. As I stated, I helped a client literally strictly just for postpartum. So yes, that is extremely important. You can definitely hire your doula strictly for postpartum. If you feel like you have labor covered, definitely reach out. And let's see, do I have time for one more question?
Dominique, do you want me to initiate your offer?
I don't believe I have an offer.
Okay.
Yeah, so there aren't any offers. What I do offer is a complimentary consultation. And you would simply just need to reach out to me through, I don't know if my contact information is available on here.
It is. I'm going to go ahead and push it because that's exactly what it is the 30-minute consult.
Okay. Oh, it is. Look, I didn't even know that I did that. My life is just so crazy. Yes, that is what that is. During a consultation, I get to know what it is that you need. In looking for a doula, one of the number one questions that I get is, how do I know if a doula is right for me? Have some interview questions ready. This person is going to be all up in your space. And so you want to make sure you make the right choice in hiring a doula. So yes, that is your opportunity there to schedule a complimentary consultation with me, most likely going to be virtual because of our current situation. But yeah, I think I answered all the questions.
You're amazing, Dominique. It was really cool to hear you and see you in your element. So I thought you did a wonderful job. Lots of great information. So guys, it looks like everyone's gotten their comments in for giveaways. We are going to start at 12:50 with Bright by Text with Martina. So that's where we'll be at next. So unless anyone has more questions, we're going to go ahead and say goodbye, and then we'll see you back in about 6 minutes. So that way it'll give you some time to get a break. Yeah, Dominique, thank you so much. You really did a fantastic job. So so much information.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
Okay, bye.